Hi, I'm Dr. Stephen Gullan, and in this video I'm going to be speaking about education, parenting, and the school load or academic load that parents are finding themselves burdened with during lockdown. Let's just start off with the context first of all. Whose schoolwork is it? And the answer is clearly it's the children's schoolwork. So what's happening here is that parents are not skilled teachers, they're not skilled educators, they're loving parents. And out of their loving parents, they're approaching the process of schooling their children at home through the model of love, not through the model of an educator. And if you see in a classroom, or imagine in a classroom context, there a teacher is with say 10, 20, 30 students inside her class, or his class, they are giving the work to the children, and then they're allowing the children to do the work. And then they are testing the children on whether they have done their work or not. Now, for most parents, they're finding themselves very stressed because they're trying to make their children do the work, help their children get through the work, parent their children through the work. And parenting skills and teaching skills, although there are many correlations, are uniquely separate skills. So here's the context to approach the schoolwork struggle that many parents are having. And I'm saying to you, yes, it even works with 5-year-olds, 4-year-olds, 6-year-olds, 7-year-olds, and certainly it works with 15, 16, 12-year-olds. So yeah, it works with the small kids too. In fact, small children are super thrilled to take responsibility if they know it's theirs. So if you stop doing it for them and they get it's up to them, they'll even get excited about doing it because they'll own it and it's theirs. Kids like to do things by themselves, and if you can create the space, if you can set the context for the child that this is for you to do by yourself, younger children will really engage with that. So don't be mistaken that this only works with older children. No, maybe it's even easier with younger children. They're into it. So have you ever had a pushy salesperson? Yeah, maybe they come and they sell you something, and as they try and push it on you, what do? You withdraw. And very often what do? They sell harder, which makes you withdraw more, which makes them sell harder, which makes you withdraw more. And this is a dynamic that you don't want to get into with your children. You don't want to be selling the work to your children and then be pushing back against you, because that'll force you to push harder and you'll get into that dynamic. So let's not forget at the end of the day, whose responsibility is it? It's the children's. And what is a parent there to teach a child? They're there to teach the child responsibility above academic material. I get it's tricky now, you're struggling with responsibility and academic material, but if you pay attention to the responsibility part, you may find that there's a new space, a new bit of ease comes to the academic part too. What does responsibility mean? It means that the person takes the task on for themselves. They take responsibility for it, they do it themselves, and that's the primary learning. Parent must teach a child or create a space for a child to learn to be responsible. So yes, the parent has to ensure that the child has the desk, the material, the room, the time allocated, perhaps even remind the child that it's time to do it, and even do a little bit of parenting, policing, sit down, focus, I'll see you when it's finished, or if you've got a problem, come and ask me. But don't find yourself doing the work for your children. It's not conducive for their academic development. It's not conducive for the dynamic in which they need to learn under these circumstances. And it's certainly not conducive for long-term self-sufficiency, for teaching a human being to become an adult, a self-sufficient adult. So yes, it's very tough out there for parents. I know I'm a parent educator, and I'm engaging with many parents, and I'm seeing this problem all around. But parents, let your kids do their work. And one of the ways you can do it maybe is you can test them on the work. Give them the work and test them. That's what teachers do. That's what the educational system does. Gives them material, ensures they sit at the desk in the classroom, and test them on that they've done the work. So you can go through the work very briefly. Don't find yourself reading through all their work. Just go through the assignment, pick out a few sentences in the beginning, a few sentences in the middle, and a few sentences at the end, and then quiz them, ask them questions about it at the end. And if they make mistakes, it doesn't necessarily mean that they didn't do the work. It may just mean that they're struggling with the material. And let them struggle. It's okay. They can do it again. So, parents, don't find yourself in a dynamic where you're trying to make your kids learn. You can't make them learn. Remember? Did you ever try and make your child go to sleep? Try and make them fall asleep? You can't make them fall asleep. They fall asleep on their own time. You can ensure that they're laying in their bed. You can ensure that the lights are out and that they're in their pajamas. But you can't make them go to sleep. So, all the parents out there, I know it's a struggle, I know you're under stress, and I know you're doing it out of love. But remember whose work it is. And you can support them, but you can't make them do it. I hope that brings you a little bit of freedom. I hope it gives you a new perspective. And if you find value, you can give this video a thumbs up or subscribe, and you can push the little bell down there somewhere, and that'll inform you that when we release another video, and you can follow up and learn more. So if you've got any questions, if you have any comments, put them there too, and I'll get to them. I'm super keen on covering many different areas of life, from parenting to our whatever will help us through this time. And so if you put your questions there, I'll pay attention to them. Be safe, take care, love one another, and be well.